could you just tell me a little bit about your character, would you?
I play Jean Grey. She's one of the X-Men, and she's telekinetic and telepathic, and she kind of, in that respect, takes after Professor X, who has the same powers, mutant powers that she has. And it's just about, you know, they're mutants, people who are higher evolved in certain parts of their being.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you do with that and how you're being regarded as a person, you know, who's different from the rest of the world. And then, of course, how you can abuse those powers. You know, that was we all had our challenges on screen, what to deal with. Mine was that, you know, I'm supposed to make a cerebral character interesting to watch on screen. So that's hard. For James, it was, you know, having visors in front of his eyes, which, you know.
Yeah, well, that was a big challenge. And you rely, as an actor, you rely on your eyes a lot. I actually, there was one point in the movie where Brian had decided very early on to just have me wear the visor through the whole movie. And for the comic book fans, I said, you should have the glasses too, because that means he's just containing it. When he wears the visor, he channels it and to use it into his. I play Scott Summers, and his nickname is Cyclops because he has the ability to fire optic blasts from his eyes. The two eyes form one beam, hence Cyclops. As to my understanding, anyway. And he's the young leader of the X-Men, who's a stoic Boy Scout, very serious, very intimidated by Wolverine, very in love with Jean Grey, who has a thing for Wolverine, so there's all... If you're taken out of your I don't know, where you live, where you're with your friends and your girlfriend and your boyfriend, whatever, and your dog and your lifestyle, and put in a foreign city with a bunch of people you don't know, and doing a great movie, you know, but it's always, you always miss home, it's always kind of difficult, but, and it's such a long process, it's very tedious.
This one nearly took 6 months, and, you know, I got off a movie right before that took 21 days to shoot, so just the contrast between, you know, getting 21 days to shoot a whole film, and then all of a sudden going to like a 6-month shoot. That's just, you know, it's funny, but all different, you know, all movies are differently paced in that sense. And, you know, the big studio films that have a lot of action tend to take that long. Yeah, I mean, we all did a little bit of our research.
Your instinct is to go out and buy them and read the comic books.
But that's not what Brian really wanted of us to do. Just there's a lot of different comic books with a lot of different storylines, and we had to focus on one specific part in this film. Maybe for the sequels, you know, if there are going to be sequels in the future, they're going to focus on different storylines with different characters or whatever. There's a lot more X-Men, too, than what we ended up with on the
There's very simple key characteristics of each character in the comic book that we took on that we needed to know about, you know. We needed to know that Jean Grey
twitches all the
time, has telepathic ability, you know, and just what their you know, their struggles or their insecurities or their powers and their strengths and weaknesses. And that's basically all the information we needed to know from the comic book, because Brian Singer was like, this script is your comic book. Let the script be your comic book, because you can get confused if you go back 37 years and just pick out a comic book.
Because
the characters take on different, you know,